in 3 journals again this year. I wrote in 3 last year as well, and it's not even 3 full journals because I started the year on this journal. This is my 23rd journal, and then 24th, 25th, and I'm only like halfway through this current journal, this 25th one. Actually, I'm definitely over halfway through, but it's kind of around halfway through, just a little more than halfway. I remember last year I was like, wow, I only wrote in 3 journals, and I guess maybe it's just because I write in bigger journals, and I also only write like 1 page a day nowadays. Obviously, there's the occasional day where I'll write like 2, 3, 4, whatever, but for the most part, most of my days are only 1 page a day. That's the minimum I have for myself anyway, but I feel with how busy I am in my life nowadays, I feel like I'm always redefining the word busy for myself because I'm like, oh, I'm so busy, and then I like get a lot more to do, and then I'm like, whoa, I thought that was busy. This is busy. I mostly do like a page a day, but honestly, that's what keeps me sane. I do wish I had more time to write like longer entries more frequently, but whatever. Because I'm going at like that pace, I obviously can't fill up a ton of journals really super fast. Yeah, that's why I've only gotten through 3-ish, not even really fully gotten through 3. To be fair though, this journal specifically, this 24th one, the second one of the year, it had like quite a bit of pages. They all kind of do. They like look thin, but they do have a decent amount of pages. And they're also big journals again. So like 1 page is kind of like a decent amount of writing for one day. It takes me about like 10 minutes usually, which isn't that much time. But like if I were to do 2 pages, then it's like 20 minutes a day, and when you're just like really tired some days, like that's a lot. Quick little recap for those of you who don't know. I've been journaling since I was 6. I have been daily journaling since I was 14. January 1st of this year coming up will be my 7-year journaling anniversary of journaling every single day, which is really cool. These are my used journals over here. I actually, just before I started filming this, guys, do you see this? I don't even know how this happened. I was setting my journals like to the side here for the background of the video, and I saw this and I was like, when in the world did this happen and how? I feel like I would have noticed it. I genuinely don't know. Like that's quite a tear. Look how bad that is. I've never had that happen to any of my journals. So sad. Maybe I could tape it actually. I think I should do that right now. I wish I had like some hot glue. It's definitely not great, but better, I guess. I remember when I had this journal, I got like this new highlighter marker set, which I don't even have anymore. And I just like drew on all the pages because I was so excited to have all of the colors. So I started off the year in this journal. I actually went over it a bit in my last journaling recap video that I did for last year in 2022. So this was my first journal entry of the new year. It was about like halfway through this journal. Pretty much exactly halfway through right there. I love this entry. I really don't know what I'm gonna do for my first journal entry of 2024. That's gonna be like a figure it out on the day. I used to always start journals on the new year. Like I tried to finish a journal by the end of the year so that I could start a new one on January 1st, but I haven't done that. I don't think since like 2020, I want to say. I'd have to look back in my journals to like see when specifically I stopped doing that, but I'm definitely not going to be doing it this year because in my 25th journal, I'm also like just over halfway right now, so I'm not going to make it to the end by the new year. So this journal I'll go over real quick. I've used this brand of journal so many times. I have a ton of them over here too. I get them from Costco. They're sometimes there, sometimes not. You can get like a pack of 3 of them for like $15. I can't find them anywhere else other than Costco. They used to be online, but they're not there anymore. They used to be my very favorite journals because clearly I've used a lot of them. Like there's a ton right here, but it's really not my favorite anymore. The pages are really yellow, as you saw. I like a bright white page, but they are very sturdy and like durable, other than this one that clearly was torn a little bit, which I don't know how that happened again, but I like the little band that it has here, and I really like the color of it, like the outside cover. I've really just loved browns and beiges this year. Got some good ASMR. And then I finished this journal on February 25th, 2023. Also, this is the cover page that I did. There's no right time, there's just time and what you choose to do with it. Ain't that the truth? That kind of goes hand in hand with journaling too, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have time to journal. And I'm like, yeah, you do. It's just a matter of if you choose to make the time for it. And that goes like with anything in life, because ultimately what's important to you, you'll prioritize. Next, we have our 24th journal. Guys, honestly, this whole year of journals has just been like, not the greatest. I feel like they look very pretty because this is a very pretty, beautiful journal. I love the colors of it. But if you saw the video when I started this journal, it was a mess because the pages bled through quite a bit. And same with my 25th journal too. It's just been like a disaster this year, I feel like. But I'll get to that one in a bit. Back to this journal. This is my 24th journal. Again, love the colors. It's like a suede cover, very soft and pretty. It got really dirty really easily and has this like random mark right here. So I don't know how that happened. It just looks kind of gross now, I feel like. It definitely looks used, but I feel like I wouldn't use a suede journal in the future just because it kind of like picks up a lot on stuff. But other than that, love the way it looks. I love the colors. Very like light pastel earth tones. This was the cover page that I did for it. And as you can see, it bled through quite a bit. I was so torn when I first started this journal because I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Like, do I keep writing in it? And then I did, and it ended up being fine. I actually did really end up liking the whole journal. I was just like excited to be done with it too because of the bleed through. This also is an Ecolo journal, and I've used the brand Ecolo before. I think it was this journal, I want to say. And that was like one of my favorite journals. I loved it so much, but I didn't experience the same bleed through problem like I did with this one. Maybe it was because I was using different like products on it, or maybe just like it's a different GSM of the page. I'd have to look into that, honestly. Honestly, like the bleed through, like that's not awful. It's definitely not ideal. I did my month. Oh gosh, I just got lipstick on my journal. Do you see that? Oh no. Well, it was already dirty. At least it's like pink now. That's awkward. That's not awful. Anyway, so I did this month challenge in this journal, and that included a month of color that I did, which you can see right here. I have a video about that. Just lots of fun entries in this journal. And again, the bleed through, like, not ideal, but I got used to it. Like, I made do with it. It ended up being fine. I loved the size of the pages. I just love a big page. And I also loved how bright and white the pages are, because again, I love me a little bright white page. I also filmed a video where I ended this journal. I ended it on September 7th, 2023. And started it February 26th. So that is a long time. February to September. It took me like 6.5 months to start and finish this journal. That is crazy. I feel like that's got to be the longest time it's taken me to fill up a journal, not including my journals from before I started daily journaling. Honestly though, this is a really sweet journal. I feel like I've had a really good year overall, like a really good mindset and attitude throughout the year, and I feel like that's really reflected in my journal entries. So I feel like even though the journals themselves have not been my favorite this year, the memories in them make up for it, and it makes them a lot happier and enjoyable to look back on. I don't know. And then we have our 25th journal. This is a really fun journal because one, it's like a little leathery kind of cover. And then also the sides of the pages are golden. Look at these gilded pages, very beautiful. I think it's just so cool, and especially because 25 is such a big milestone for journals, it was cool to have like a fun one to write in. It also says journal on it. Oh, also number 24 says note. Honestly, I find it kind of weird when journals like say stuff like that, because I'm like, notes, like why do I need to know that it, I don't know, or journal? Like I know it's a journal. Like can you imagine getting like a backpack and it just says backpack, or like a binder and it says binder? Like I get it, like might look weird without saying anything, but doesn't it seem kind of strange to you that like people do that? I don't know. I want to say this was gifted to me. It's a brand called Gallery Leather. This was the cover page that I did. I also have a video where I started that, and then my first entry as well. Because of the bleed through, just how I did in my 24th journal, I started the first entry on the next page, which I don't think I've done in previous journals before, but I remember I was so stressed when I started this journal because I was like, oh, not again. I was so excited to be done with my 24th journal from the bleed through that I was experiencing the whole time, which like again, it got better as I continued writing in it, but I was excited to have like a journal that wasn't like that, where I didn't have to worry about it as much. And then I experienced the same thing with this journal, and just like with my 24th one, it's fine. Like it's not the end of the world. Like you can see here, I have some writing and it definitely bleeds through like here, but it's not that bad. Like it's fine. These pages are also very bright and white, which I love. Also, one thing about this journal that's a little different than my other ones is it's very like flimsy and floppy. All of my other journals have been very like sturdy, hardbound, hardcover journals. Also, this journal has the personal data in the back instead of like on the front where you write your name. And I haven't written anything there. I feel like maybe I should, but I don't know. I just feel like it's weird to write like my home address on a journal, or my business address. I don't have a business address. Emergency contact number. I think that's so funny though. Like if you write your emergency contact, someone like, wouldn't they would just call you. If they found your journal, they would just call your number. And would they call my emergency contact if I lost my journal? Or like, hey, you're the backup person. And I don't know. There's also a little other category, like you could just write a little message. Dear random person, if you're reading this, you found my journal, please call my number or my emergency contact number and give it back to me. And if someone even does find a journal, no one's gonna look to the back, you know? They're not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I found a journal. Like, I bet their personal information is at the end of the journal. Like, People look on the front cover, the first page. There's just no spot to. I started this journal September 8th of 2023, of course. It's now mid-December and I'm, again, like a little over halfway through. So at that rate, let's see, when should I probably finish it? I'd maybe finish it in like February or March, depending on how quickly I fill things up. But I guess we'll see. I do have an idea of the next journal that I want to use. It's a smaller journal. I think it's an A5 size and it has thick pages, guys. I'm so excited. I feel like I just haven't found my staple journal. I thought that this was like my journal that I loved using, and then after using it again, I was like, it's just not it. So I'm still working on it. I just need to like create my own perfect journal one day. I do love though that all three of these journals have like very like browns and earth toned looks to them. I feel like they all kind of like go together. Also, I definitely used to fill up more journals, I feel like, from year to year, but honestly they're gonna be adding up anyway over the years, and it's kind of nice not having a million bajillion journals. Like the fact that I'm already on 25 and I've only been daily journaling for 7 years and just like journaling in general for 15 years, they're gonna add up. Anyway, let me know how many journals you guys filled up this year, what brands they were, if you liked them, your like experiences with them. Again, overall, my journals that I had this year, like the physical journals, were not my favorite. But honestly, of all of my journaling, I feel like my 2023 journal entries, like cumulatively, I feel like they were some of my favorites. So just like a lot of special memories, a lot of really good solid journal entries, a lot of self-growth and learning. So I don't know, I have like mixed feelings about it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the Journaling Army, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.